Camgirl is the first track on Census Designated and one of Jane Remover's most confusing songs. If you're listening to it for the first time, you probably can't tell what it's about, and don't worry, I can't either, so let me explain. Section 1. Context, Kudos, and Content. First things first, let's look at Camgirl as a song. Typically, in my experience, when song titles have two phrases or nouns separated by a slash, there are two speakers in that song, or the song is a combination of two tracks meshed together. We can see this, and I first witnessed it in Jack Harlow's 21C/Delta. Shout out to Jack, by the way, he was super cool to see live. Next, let's look at the song's actual details. It was first released in low quality as Cage Girl, then Cage Girl was released in studio quality, and then finally Cage Girl became Camgirl. The first version of this song wasn't very different except for quality and a few lyrics. Today, it's the first track on Census Designated and has cemented itself among fans and casual music listeners as one of Jane's best songs. Finally, let's look at it structurally. Camgirl looks like this. First verse, pre-chorus, chorus, second verse, chorus, third verse, bridge, fourth verse, fifth verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Classic song structure looks like this. First verse, chorus, second verse, chorus, bridge, third verse. So it's definitely unique. Aside from that, there's nothing to really look at here, so let's move on. Section 2. Cage Girl versus Camgirl. Camgirl is either written from the perspective of two girls, one who is in a cage and one who is on camera, or from the perspective of one girl who has two personas, one being Cage Girl and the other being Camgirl. In both interpretations, the cage is an unhealthy relationship or situation the Cage Girl is in, a boxing ring, or whatever she's trying to hide that everyone already knows about. Side note, this could also be an animal cage, and the camera is a literal camera or outlet the Camgirl's fans see her through. If the song has one speaker, an individual girl, probably Jane, is both a Cage Girl and Camgirl, and she deals with the similar problem both of those roles have. If the song has two speakers, separate girls, both the Cage Girl and Camgirl are vastly different externally, but have the same core problem fundamentally. The Cage Girl is trapped in a loop of constantly being beaten up for money, fame, or affection, and displays a sort of learned helplessness or submission, which we see in the lines, "If you're not the hawk like you said, say it again, just for me." The Cam Girl is trapped in a loop of constantly putting herself on camera for money, praise, or affection from her viewers, and doesn't know who she is because she's turned herself into a Cam Girl who only gets on camera, earns what she wants to, and repeats that process. Additionally, Camgirl could be getting beaten up too for money if her fans scrutinize her when she gets on camera, but pay her regardless. In either theory, both the Cage Girl and Camgirl, either as individual people or parts of a whole, relate to each other because they beat themselves up or sell their bodies for money or affection, either on camera or in the cage. Also, keep in mind that these girls aren't necessarily present in every line of the song. Sometimes it's just Jane speaking, or sometimes a random party is speaking, because it just makes the song sound good. Section 3. Affectionate Digestion. In multiple lines like, "I bite down and bite hard, and I grew 100 teeth to treat you like the food I eat, and I'm starving in your house," there seems to be a common theme. Food, or I guess eating. Why? I don't know. No, I'm joking. Throughout the song, the speaker or speakers clearly allude to being in an abusive or unhealthy relationship where affection is probably not given out consistently. After reviewing the lyrics, like we will in the next section up ahead, we can see that food or eating is actually a symbol for affection or receiving love from another person. Now, let's check out the lyrics I'm sure we've all been scratching our heads trying to understand. Section 4. Lyric Analysis. Now knowing that food is affection and eating is receiving that affection, we can conclude that this line is about the speaker loving hard or needing to use excessive emotional/mental energy just to process or digest the love their partner is giving them. Wake up with the crack of dawn, don't notice what's the beating over your head. I'm not too sure about this line, but this is probably about abuse. It sounds like the speaker is abusing their partner in these particular sentences. Chew me up, spit me out before you can swallow. Keeping up with the edible themes, we can come up with the theory that this line is about the speaker being hard to receive love from themselves. They're so difficult to emotionally process, at least when it comes to intimacy or relationships, that you must take many steps or break their message down just to swallow, aka be able to take in their affection.
I feel my eyes open, everyone knows that nobody cares.
This one is kind of on the nose, essentially meaning that the speaker is trying to hide something they're ashamed of that everyone already knows about and doesn't really judge them for. But using what we know from the previous sections, we can find out exactly what this is. The thing that they are probably trying to hide is their relationship, considering it's largely unhealthy. They may be trying to hide this to keep up appearances or maintain their reputation or their partners, but seem kind of disappointed that even after failing to hide this, no one cares. No one intervenes in this negative situation they're in.
I know it's you, cause I know how it feels when your hands on my hair.
This could be about the speaker's intended audience or partner often being intimate with them so much so that they can find things out even without seeing them, like that their partner is touching them just from the feel of their hands because it's happened so frequently. Alternatively, this could be about Cage Girl being constantly grabbed by the hair by the same opponent, who, plot twist, could also be their partner, so much that she knows that it's them by that motion.
I'm all told off for you, I'm not stupid.
Dolled up means looking pretty, and we probably all know this, but stupid means lacking in intelligence. Pairing these together, this line probably means that the speaker is getting all dolled up and appearing as a damsel in distress to their audience, but aren't actually stupid or vulnerable and know exactly what they're doing. Know that they're trying to exploit their audience by putting on this persona. A common theme in Jane's music is that she feels as if her fans and music are demanding and take a lot out of her, but that she still loves us and her craft. She's not stupid and knows that some of us don't actually care about her and only how much or what quality of music she makes, but she still puts out what we want, still gets dolled up for us.
If you're not the hug like you said, say it again, just for me.
I already annotated these lines and more on genius.com, so let me restate what I've already said there. Like I annotated on Cage Girl, the older version of this song, I think that keeping up with the theme of being caged, this line is about how sometimes animals, typically prey animals in cages, can be startled or attacked by predators, i.e., a rabbit in a cage having the bars clawed at by a hawk. I think that if the cage is a prey cage, Cage Girl is trying to ask whoever she is speaking to, although they've already said so once before, say that they're not a hawk again, not a danger again, and basically to reassure her, to make her feel less like prey or less like a cage girl.
And it always ends the same, I'm in your mouth again.
Like Ranch Lover on Genius, annotated in 2024, this line is most likely about repeating a cycle of constantly running back to the same person who hurt you the most.
Ride your coattails if I can't reach the rest of you.
I'll ride your coattails if I can't reach the rest of you. I think this means that even if Jane or the girls can't fully be with this person, even if they can't be close enough to them to actually touch their body, they're so entranced by them, or used to being caged by them and obsessed due to a sort of Stockholm syndrome, that they don't care and will cling to any scraps of them they can reach regardless of the, what I think is intentional distance, like their coattails.
Living in your house, shoveling fake deep lines from that guy you like.
I'm starving in your house, shoveling fake deep lines from that guy you like. This line is especially confusing, but let me try to tackle it. If my theory about affection being food is accurate, then the speaker is starving because they're being deprived of affection in their partner's house, because their partner likes a man and is likely giving all of that affection to him. Shoveling fake deep lines from that guy you like probably means that the speaker is being forced to deal with this man because their partner likes him and they value them. Fake deep lines, which are sentences or phrases that people say to seem more emotionally deep or intelligent than they really are what they're being subjected to hearing because their partner wants this man who is saying them. They're intimate with their partner, but maybe their partner is not as close to Jane or the girls as they are to them, judging by how they're bringing a guy they admittedly like around them, someone they are intimate with, who values them, and who probably thought they were exclusive to them.
And all my life I've been waiting for my new lips to come in.
And all my life, I've been waiting for my new limbs to come in. This could be about how Camgirl wishes she was prettier and has always wanted new limbs to make her that way, or how Cage Girl wants new limbs to make herself stronger to be better able to take beatings, or to have strong, healthy limbs again, because her current ones are damaged from how much she's been hurt.
Open my mouth as wide as I can, hot in my face.
I open my mouth as wide as I can, hot in my face. This could be about kissing and receiving affection that way, since hot could refer to the hot breath on the speaker's face from their partner, or open my mouth as wide as I can could again be about eating affection and how the speaker is desperately trying to, going so far as to stretch their mouth to attempt to. Stepping on the scale, cream soda in my hand, through 'Cause You're My Man. All of this is honestly probably just a nice sounding reference to Cream Soda by Venturing, one of Jane's many side projects. And nobody could ever understand. This probably refers to the lines we saw earlier about those around the speaker noticing but not caring. This could be about how no one understands why they're still with their partner and just gives up on trying to help because they seem to be happy there, how no one understands the severity of how unhealthy the relationship is, or simply how no one could ever understand why they're so in love with their partner.
Get biting chunks out of my face, say it's the same.
This could mean that the speaker's partner is draining them emotionally, taking affection from them while denying it, or justifying their behavior by claiming the speaker does the same thing. It could also suggest physical abuse, with the partner damaging the speaker's face through punches or other violence while insisting they're not doing anything wrong or affecting them. More broadly, it may describe a dynamic where the partner abuses the speaker and then tries to justify it by saying the speaker treats them the same way.
There's never enough in the kettle.
This is probably about how no matter how hard either partner tries, although the speaker's partner is neglectful so they're not really trying at all, there will never be enough affection between them. They will never have enough of what the other needs to be healthy for them.
And I grew 100 teeth to treat you like the food I eat.
And I grew 100 teeth to treat you like the food I eat. Despite how awful this relationship is, to try and receive more affection or receive it at all by making said affection more digestible or easy to process, the speaker accommodates greatly, growing teeth to better chew it, perhaps even as easily as the food they normally eat.
I break the plate, you won't stay ahead of me forever.
I break the plate, you won't stay ahead of me forever, and nobody could ever understand. I break the plate. I believe this means that the speaker inevitably ends up receiving none of the affection they were trying to accept from their partner, despite accommodating so much to try and take it, because none of it was ever there. If they tried to take a bite, receive love, and they instead met the plate, their partner's harsher side, not food, affection, that means their partner never held any affection for them to begin with, hence why they could not accept it despite how they'd changed so much just to try to. If you bite down and nothing enters your mouth but glass, you weren't biting on any food to begin with. Now, let's look at You Won't Stay Ahead of Me Forever. It seems like they kind of acknowledge everything that I'm saying themselves and have simply just gotten fed up with it. They're tired of being deemed hard to love and not receiving love on top of that, so they decide two will play this manipulative game and that they will no longer let their partner stay one step ahead of them in it.
Hands in altitude, reaching for something important.
My hands in altitude, reaching for something important. I think this is about how Jane, Camgirl, or Cage Girl are trying to find their purpose in life. No matter how high up they reach, they haven't found what they want to, and the thing that's important could be a better relationship, a better job, a better environment, overall, just something important that will get them out of their current situation. Maybe that's why they're in their current situation, to try and find that thing that's important, even though they don't know what it is.
I can't tell exactly what I made myself into. Perfume and leather.
But I can't tell exactly what I made myself into, perfume and leather, and nobody could ever understand. This is probably Camgirl because of the perfume she uses to doll up and how leather is commonly used in some realms of the more intimate world. This is what I was talking about when I said she can't tell what she's turned herself into because she's essentially just perfume and leather, just something that's constantly on the camera, looking into it and performing for it.
I'm standing still, I'm overwhelmed like a statue, 3 in the morning.
I'm standing still in my room like a statue, 3 in the morning. This is about how Camgirl stands in front of the camera all hours of the night trying to get what she wants from viewers or attract viewers.
Pick up the pieces and say we'd be good together.
I pick up the pieces and say we'd be good together. Despite how awful the cage is, the camera is, digesting affection from the speaker's partner is, and the relationship is, they still keep picking up the pieces of all of these objects and running headfirst straight back into them. The nobody cares lines repeat from here and are probably about how everyone knows what the speaker's been hiding anyway and no one gives a damn. No one's intervening, and because they won't leave their environment themselves, they're stuck here. Everyone knows and no one cares, not even them. In conclusion, this song is very complicated and lyrically interesting, incorporating themes of love, affection, abuse, entrapment, fame, and online presence, and an entire story into itself in just 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Jane did an amazing job with the writing, and I hope I allowed you to better understand it. Let me know if there's anything I missed, and thank you for watching. Bye, guys.